Hello and welcome again to Charles Kelly Money Tips. I'm the author of the book, Yes, Money Can Buy You Happiness. I was an IFA and financial advisor and worked for banks and insurance companies for over 25 years before getting out of that crazy business. And since then I've been an investor and author and also I was a counsellor for quite some time, actually served as an elected counsellor and served on the planning committee and other committees dealing with planning applications as the housing market sort of boomed in the area because the government said you've got to build thousands more houses, and that's what most areas of the southeast has been doing. So what I wanted to do today is just run through the stories of the main headline stories of the last week. And obviously the big story that dominated from last week, almost a week today, was Brexit. Last week, almost at this hour, if you're watching this live on Facebook Live, at this hour last week, the UK left the European Union after 47 years. And it was an historic night. There was lots of celebrations going on in Parliament Square. And it was a big night, obviously, but the next day life just went on. People went about their business. Companies went about their business, doing business. Yes, there may have been some changes. I mean, most of the changes, to be fair, are going to come at the end of the year when the transition period will end. But what we heard from the negotiator Michel Barnier is that yes, we want to do a deal and we want to have zero tariffs. Whereas, last year, 6 months ago, it was we're going to be tough on you and all this sort of stuff. Now, once we said, well, we're going, that's it, take it or leave it, the tone and the mood has definitely changed. And we've heard about new investment coming into the country. And yeah, there will be some pain for some. I'm sure that there'll be bumps along the way. But I'm looking forward to a bright future for the country. We're still a large economy. We still buy more from Europe than we sell to Europe. So I am hopeful about the economy. And on the worldwide economy, we also heard that the China situation going on. Obviously, this virus is a huge story, and it will affect millions of people, I think, in the end. We don't really know the full extent of it. I've seen some videos on social media where people were sort of dropping dead like flies in the street, and the government just don't know what to do. They can't cope with it. They tried to initially put the lid on it and even arrested the doctor that initially raised the alarm on this and said there's a virus, we need to do something about it. They arrested him and then made him sign a confession saying it was all nonsense. And then now they found out he was actually speaking the truth, and it was really a serious thing. But and the tragic part of this story is that this doctor has now died. He's helping others. He's died to save others. And the Chinese government are trying to quash the story. But, this is... Initially, they tried to stop the news going out and even let people travel. They let 5 million people travel out of the city. They had a big food festival at one point, which they didn't want to cancel because it might cause alarm. So now they're taking these measures and having lockdowns. But quite frankly, it's the old proverbial shutting the door after the horse has bolted, shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted. And that... now people are all over the world. They're spreading all over the world, and it's spreading through China like wildfire. Imagine 5 million people running around the country for the Chinese New Year, etc. This is now having a serious effect on their economy. It's having an effect on the oil price, and China is trying to pump money into their economy to keep it going, and they've even ended this trade war between Trump and China. I've even seen speculation that the CIA have planted this virus, but I don't think so. If there was any man-made intervention, I think it may have come from a biological warfare treatment place plant in that province, in Wuhan province. There was a facility where they were engaged in biological warfare and creating viruses. Maybe one of those viruses got out. Who knows? We'll probably never know the whole story behind that. But obviously this is having a major effect, and it's starting to affect the economy. These are the sort of things that could end up causing a recession. We just don't know. We will have to see. I mean, at the moment, the stock markets are doing well. They're at all-time highs. Gold price is up, silver is up. Things are looking good. I mean, the price of Tesla shares shot up. I think by I said the other day, Tesla shares shot up by 20% in one day. The company's now worth more than Volkswagen. It's just, but that to me is a crazy price. Other shares have gone up in the last year. Apple shares have doubled in the last year, and the stock markets have been doing well. But it's only for the brave. You need to know what you're doing if you're investing in the stock market. A lot of people pile in when it's on the up and things are going well, and then sell when the price has dropped and they've lost money. So that's not the way to do it. That's not the way the professionals do it. Other stories this week was that house prices in the UK have started to rise, and activity has definitely started to rise. I was talking to agents in the last few days around the London area, and they said, yeah, activity's definitely gone up. They've sold some of the stock that they've been on their books for several months. Prices are not going up that much, but activity, new registrations, new sales are definitely up, and the mood is definitely better. And they need this because 3 estate agents have confirmed to me that 2018 was their worst year ever. And this is worse than 2008 when that crash came, and presumably worse than some of the other recessions. Some of them are not even young enough to remember 2008. But I spoke to some that have been around in the business for 20, 30 years, and they definitely said it was the worst time, 2018. So they do need some good years ahead to make up for the very slow period in 2018. So that's what's been happening in the week. Brexit, China, Tesla, and these sort of things have been dominating the news. And hopefully we will see from Brexit in the UK a good future ahead of us. And as an independent nation, as an independent fishing nation, where we can perhaps rebuild our fishing industries and some of the other industries that have gone over the last few years. So thanks for listening, and have a great weekend ahead of you wherever you are. In the UK, it's a bit cold at the moment, and we're expecting a storm coming across from the Atlantic in the next couple of days. And hi to everyone on Facebook Live there, Siobhan, Lourdes, Manny, Joel, yeah, great to see you. And I'll be out this weekend, hopefully viewing a couple of property deals that I'm looking at, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But whatever you're doing, have a great weekend, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook Live, and do catch my other podcast and blog on moneytipsdaily.com. So thanks for listening, and have a great weekend. Bye for now.